What's up, guys? Xavier here with you on the How'd You Do It podcast. We're out here at the beautiful Caffeine studio at Fox Studios, and I'm hanging out with the one and only Kingsley. How are you, mate?
I'm great.
All right, so this dude's a little fragile today. He just got back from Coachella. You got back yesterday?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Drained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all the right ways. What kind of? It's my first time this weekend. So
nice.
what can I expect?
It was my first time this weekend.
Yep.
And just a lot of dust.
Yep.
A lot of people. Great sets though.
Okay, man. So to be honest with you, I really got into the YouTube space about in the last sort of year or two. Mm-hmm. So I'm not aware of your backstory, right? I know you're an OG. I've known you've been in it for 10 years, but you're not doing me any favors by deleting everything, right?
Wow, they're not deleted.
I mean, archived or whatever, but they're not available for me to see, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this dude's clearly been around for a long time. Like, he's an absolute OG, and I'm like, I'm ready to dive in and like do my research. There's 3 videos up on YouTube. And so I had to conjure everything else I could find to sort of paint a picture of the Kingsley picture of what you're all about. But I am actually interested. What was the reasoning behind clearing everything off or archiving?
It's my 10th year,
mm-hmm.
And I like the thought of my videos not just sitting there, being open for consumption, because I want to look back at them kind of in like, my idea is to do like Throwback Thursdays,
mm-hmm.
but feature different videos at a time,
mm-hmm.
which I planned on doing anyway, because there was like this moment where it was like reacting to old videos, but I just thought it could be something more special since this is such like a milestone year, and kind of just look back at how I've changed, how comedy has changed, because I feel like I'm very pro change,
mm-hmm.
and I know that there's just things that flew 10 years ago that would not fly today.
Right.
Even being gay, even like just being who I am, like I was 18 and I just don't know like what was going on. So I've just been like watching stuff, thinking about how I can use it as a learning experience and to kind of just exhibit what people go through and how people evolve.
Mm-hmm.
They're not deleted. They really
privated.
are not deleted. So they'll be back as the year goes on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Was that weird? Just pulling away this body of work?
No, it's one button.
Yeah.
You just like, it is weird in a sense. Like the whole thing of being on YouTube and the internet is weird. And I think about it all the time, just like having this permanent reel of just like my thoughts. Mm-hmm. And it's
being,
just really bizarre.
So does the idea of being held accountable for something you put out or tweeted or whatever 8 or 10 years ago scare you? That could come back with you now?
No, because I know I wasn't doing anything like crazy.
Right.
It was just like I don't want it to be anything that's like I could not have used to better myself, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I feel like some things are petty, and some moments where people are held accountable are I don't want to say sinister is a very dramatic word, mm-hmm. but it's just like there seems to be like bad intentions to certain people when things like that are happening, and I just want it to be something that I can like have a conversation about and something that I can use to have like a learning experience for a lot of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think? I mean, you just mentioned before that you said some of the things that you published back then are not who you are now and all that sort of stuff. Do you have an example of something that you might have posted in your early days that just wouldn't fly
I had
now?
a video about exes that was really like angry. That was definitely had some shots at somebody I used to know
mm-hmm.
that I wouldn't want to be up in the world. I had some moments where I talked about clothing choices on people. There was a lot of videos that I feel like could have even been seen as slut shaming, mm-hmm. Where I talked about like music videos and how raunchy they were, and just like things that I feel like have changed or that I myself have opened my eyes to, just moving from Missouri to California, and just being around so many different people, and just seeing that a lot of the mindsets that I had and like what I thought mm-hmm. weren't even like a fraction of the world, because I hadn't really seen anything.
In one of the videos that you do have up at the moment, I think I touched on it before, but you say, there's a quote from you that says, "I lost my voice in a PC bubble." What do you feel you can't, you're obviously feeling a little bit restricted in 2019. Is there any specific topics that you feel restricted on?
No. See, the thing is with me, I feel like my audience isn't, like, they don't constrict me. And as far as things go, like, in the world, I feel like I'm very, like, vanilla as far as, like, real issues. When I say that stuff, I more so mean pop culture. Because it's like, when you're wanting to promote things or go to screenings or go to premieres and, like, do the things that I, like, want to do, I feel like you sometimes have to kiss ass a little bit.
Yep.
And there were some situations where I, like, saw movies that I didn't like, and I said I didn't like them. But it's like, well, we invited you to this thing. But it's like, oh, but I didn't know that I wasn't gonna like the movie. You know what I mean? So it's just like, in that aspect of, like, film and albums and songs, like, the stuff that I really love, I feel like I can't always say what I think. Which is something I'm struggling with, which I have to, like, get over, because I feel like I got an audience saying what I thought, and now I'm, like, overthinking it.
Right.
So it's like when I say stuff like that, it has nothing to do with, like, politics or anything.
No, for
It's
sure.
about, like, the dumbest.
No.
Stuff in the world.
It's a very valid point you bring up. Like, I've got things. I think you've actually. I saw on your Twitter that you even tweeted saying, "Yo, like, make sure you delete your old tweets. Like, don't put yourself in a position to be held accountable for someone that you were 10 years ago, or that sort of thing."
I cleaned my twit pic. I didn't even know that used to be a thing. Well, I knew, but I don't know if you remember that. It was a separate app for Twitter, and I had the ugliest photos on there that I hadn't seen in, like, 5 years, and I was like, oh my god, delete.
Yeah. Things have really leveled up since then, haven't they?
It's just so different. But words, I feel like, are even harder than photographs, because it's just like, it's so hard to decipher, like, tone, intent, and just, like, what you're actually trying to say in words, especially on a platform like Twitter. I can write, like, all day, but, like, when you have a limited amount of characters, it's so difficult to look back at stuff like that and be like, oh, like, what was I even trying to say? And then it's like so many things, you don't even know what you said. It's like sending a text message. Like, I don't know what text messages I sent last year, let alone in 2012.
I don't know what I sent yesterday.
It's just ridiculous.
Do you feel like just thinking about this, like, seeing as you just said a good point before, that you got your audience by being super honest, do you feel like you're in a position where you have to maintain that? You have to, because you seem like you're in a point now where you're a little bit gun shy to say what you want to say.
Yes, it's more so about creating something that allows me to say it without it being a problem.
Right. So, and I don't mean to interrupt you here, but I guess the next part of my point is that I interview a different YouTuber every week. So I've had, like, Denzel Dion, Ricky Thompson, James Charles, like, everyone. And I even remember talking to Denzel Dion about this, about his video last year on Coachella, roasting YouTubers at Coachella. And basically he was so unapologetic. He was like, well, if they have a problem with it, then they should have dressed better. I was like, that is savage. And I wish I had the confidence and conviction to just say that.
I love him.
Say, if you have a problem with it, you should just dress better.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But stuff like that, that's the thing. It's such dumb stuff. Like, it's clothes. Like, it's just like an outfit thing. And you can tell that he comes from a place of just, like, being... Like, it's not like he's trying to be mean. He's just, like, he's natural. Just like, no, he didn't like the outfits, but he is able to commentate on it in a way that the things that he's saying and describing are not just, like, digs, like, they're jokes. It's almost like it's a performance.
But it's not personal, and I feel like if that same person was wearing a great outfit, the next year he'd be the first person to compliment them, right?
Exactly.
Right.
That's my whole thing. With art and music and stuff like that, I just feel like there's no way to expect everyone to like everything. I just feel like as long as it's done in a way that's not, like, coming after your life. Like, the people that are, like, threatening, like, sending death threats and, like, I don't know, talking about people's babies.
Yeah, and
just, like,
hoping their kids get cancer and stuff.
Yeah, like, there's actual, like, evil stuff. But if you're just able to give your opinion on, like, a piece of content, I don't know. It's so stressful.
Yeah, it's a weird
crazy.
world. So fill me in on just where you're at right now. So as I said, you've kind of cleared the slate a little bit.
Yes, sir.
You've got a couple of videos up. Are you changing the course of how things are going? Are you planning on coming back to YouTube? Where you're at?
I'm definitely doing that. Yes. I don't even, this is live, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing that like soon, like immediately, like maybe even tomorrow. I've been working on what I was talking about earlier, the throwback videos. I've been like looking at what some other people did for their 10th years, and I just want it to be like, I really just want it to be like a representation of growth, but also staying true to yourself and just evolving. I've written a lot of stuff similar to like Really Be Really that I used to do, which people loved, and I also loved.
I've heard about it. I've only read articles about these things because I can't see it. So.
Oh my god, it's like that was
I don't
something.
know why I'm being such a dick about that. You can do
No,
whatever you
you're
want.
fine. That's the type of stuff that I feel like I was able to slip my opinions on things in, but not as myself.
Sure.
Which somehow made it okay.
Yep.
But then when I say the exact same thing,
It's your Slim Shady alter ego.
Yeah. So I was like able to be three girls, well, way more than that, and just like slip pop culture news into a skit. So that's the direction I'm going into. But it's just not that exactly. Because I love to write. I didn't really expect to be in front of the camera. Like I had no idea that YouTube was going to become what YouTube became. So that's been overwhelming in and of itself. But I love writing, and I love making news and pop culture like digestible for all types of people. That's all that it is.
Yep. So is that the kind of direction you're looking to go in?
Yeah. You'll see really
Okay.
soon. Like, really, really soon.
So it sounds like you're keeping busy then.
I am.
Yep.
I am. I've just been like, I don't know. I always tell people I think I like evolved from a bear. I get very down in like the winter. And last year it was just like, I don't know. And I talked to a lot of people. I just felt like last year was off. And it was just a year of like realizing stuff and growing up. And I know, don't even, because I was not referencing that. It was a year.
I'm so proud of myself for even picking that up. I do not care for the Kardashians. I don't, but I know that one. I know that one.
It was just like
for realizing stuff.
I'm getting up there and just trying to figure out what I want to do. And I feel like when I was younger, I thought that I would be at a point where I had everything figured out, and I just don't. So I'm just embracing that.
I turned 30 last year, so I can definitely I definitely hear you on that. It's a real reminder. As you get a bit older, you realize how I guess how much like the high expectations you put on yourself from a young age, and how much older 30 actually seems when you're young compared to what it actually is. I'm just an idiot in a 30-year-old's body. You know what I mean? I'm a straight moron just trying to figure my life out every single day, let alone have it all figured out.
Yeah. So it's been rough, but I got it.
Good. Sounds like exciting things to come.
Yeah.
But I always ask people if they can remember like a pivotal moment when basically YouTube went from being a hobby to being a serious consideration for a real job, I guess.
See, that with me is a hard question because I feel like I went viral in a time where it wasn't, like, it's just so different. Even when people ask me now, like, how do you go viral? Like, how do you make this video? I don't know how. Because this was 2010 and the site was just like, there weren't that many people on it. They literally had like charts of like activity and like most viewed for the day, most subscribed this week. And like I was on all those things, but so were like Shane Dawson and The Station and Mystery Guitar. Like there was just a lot of different, it was a different
landscape.
era.
Yeah, just different
Yeah,
landscape.
and it was just like I went viral because people were sharing it because it was news. Which is what I intended to do. Like I just wanted to talk about the news with everyone. So it was just a very like organic growth with me of just like being the commentator of trending stuff, if that makes sense. So after that video blew up, it was like I became like the pop culture guy.
Right.
And I just kept going. But then work-wise, I feel like that happened like a couple years ago.
Yeah. So you're obviously working another job and doing.
Yeah, because it's just like I didn't I didn't see it as a job because when I was doing it, it was almost like a joke. And I remember a lot of people used to make fun of people online and like people on YouTube, and it just wasn't taken seriously. So I never took it seriously. I just really enjoyed doing it, so I kept doing it. It's so confusing, but am I making sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so it became like a job. I think around the time I started doing Clever, like I was excited because that to me was like, oh my God, I'm going to a set. There's cameras, like I helped design it, I helped plan it. And it was just like a really exciting moment to be doing something like this. And after that, it was just, it was work, I guess.
Yeah.
Which kind of was a damper, but it was also like a blessing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a big responsibility and a lot more work than I think people realize. But I mean, the fact that you're able to do it, what you enjoy doing for a full-time job is a blessing, right?
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's just hard. It's the people who are consistent, because I clearly, like, I haven't posted a video since July, I think, because I just felt like dead, and like I didn't know what to create and like where my niche was anymore, because it's like it's such a saturated market now, and like you have celebrities making YouTube channels, and then YouTube has all of its own issues and rule changes and algorithms, and you know, you're trying to also maintain like other platforms. It's just such a it's a different space, and I'm still learning as I go, because again, it's completely different than when I started. So it's fun to do it, it's a blessing to do it, but as of late it's become like almost like I don't know, I don't want to say it's not exciting, but it's like I'm trying to figure it out.
Do you feel like you're any closer to figuring out what you want to do next, or are you still just taking some time?
I know what I want to do. Also, just growing up helps, because I feel like when that was happening,
growing up.
Yeah, I think I was either 22 or something. I was a mess, and I just like I didn't know what was going on, but I was just happy that it was going on. And looking back, sometimes I'm just like, whoa, you did that, you did that, you did that. But it's like, how did you do that?
Sure.
And just being an adult now and knowing more so who I am as a person, what I can handle, what I want to do, and actually taking time to not create stuff that isn't inspired, which I also did for a while, just posting videos because I felt like I had to post a video every week. Just taking a break and seeing that other people did the same thing, whether it was Nathan Zed or Lily or just anybody that has spoken out about their mental health and feeling burned out. Honestly, kudos to all of them.
Yep.
Because that helped so much. And I'm so happy that more people are saying it, because in my head, it was just like okay, you're tripping.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else has it together. Like, what are you doing? But it's not, you know, what it appears to be for everyone.
You would. I think you actually need to watch the. It came out yesterday. It's on the Heard Well YouTube channel. I think you'd really resonate with it, for sure. It's you know, it's just for people exactly like yourself who were going through exactly the same thing, you know. And it's funny. I've like legitimately pretty much everyone I interview who's been in the game for a long time has the same sort of problem. And I remember talking to Alicia Marie about it, and she was like, you know, I never missed an upload date, I never missed this, and I got so stressed out. And then one day I just didn't know what to do, and then one day I saw the Dolan twins were just like, you know what, we're just peacing out for a bit. And she was like, well, if they're going to do it, like, you know, and then she said she did it. Took a few months off. She's like, it wasn't the end of the world. My fans were still there. You know, yeah, sure, I might have lost a little bit of engagement with some, but like, that's okay.
That's,
you know?
the concern. And I am going to watch it, because I saw the promotion for it, but I've been in Coachella. But I'm going to watch it. And yeah, that thing of just like other people doing it first, but also just like realizing that you can. And then I feel like people don't realize that you are also like, I've made videos, I just haven't posted them, because some of them I'm just like, okay, this is a mess. I actually made videos about Jessie, and something told me not to post it because I just didn't know what was going to happen. And that was another thing of the constant changing news. And now I'm like, thank God I didn't post that because I would have looked dumb. I had videos about Kevin Hart. Like, I've made videos, but it's just like, they're not it. And I was like, I feel like maybe people have that when they're singers and like maybe they record a song and they're like, oh, this isn't going on my album. Like, I'm just like, I watch it and I'm like, this isn't it.
Yep.
And
you
I
know,
don't
man,
post
you know,
it.
you got, you said you, it sounds like you're following your gut.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you know when you create something and you just think, I could do better than this. You know, you want to fucking love it, right?
Yeah, you want to love it.
You want to be able to, if you're a musician, you want to be able to slide that album in front of anyone and say, if you don't love this, you are crazy.
An idiot. You want to be confident in it.
Exactly, and the same thing with the YouTube video. So I think it sounds like you made the right decision.
Thanks, I appreciate it. There's been a lot of like, I'm gonna do this, and then I don't. And I'm just like, I've learned not to say anything. I didn't even say I was taking a break. I just stopped. Obviously, people said but I just didn't. I don't like making announcements anymore. That's something I learned very early on. Because then you're
accountable to them.
Exactly. So it's been good, and I'm like excited.
Do you feel like quite rejuvenated after a little bit of a break?
Hella rejuvenated, and there's actually, I can't even say it, some of the stuff, but like next week is gonna be good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can you give me? Is there a day we should look out for you, or just next week? Well, you don't want to announce anything because...
Yeah, because something I can't announce until I announce it. But it's just, I'm excited.
Speaking of the fans, we have a lot of aspiring YouTubers that watch this series and listen to it. Do you have any advice for people that might be feeling the way you do, or just how you got started, or anyone trying to start a YouTube channel and make it successful?
I feel like they should focus on themselves. I think that's the most important advice anyone's ever told me, that I've read, and just being in it. I think the thing with social media that's hard is comparing yourself to everyone, and seeing what everyone else is doing all the time. And it's just hard, or easier, to get down about like where you are and to not place yourself like in this invisible like ranking of stuff. So just like know what you want to do. Listen to yourself, listen to your gut, and really like have a passion for it. Because I feel like if you truly care about something, it'll come through in your content. Like I feel like no matter what I do, people are gonna know I love pop culture.
Yeah, of course.
And like that at the end of the day is what I'm associated with. If you don't have that thing that you really, really care about that is gonna like make your content distinct, it's not gonna work.
And it's very transparent when the person's not the real deal. You can tell in 2 seconds. All right, do what you love. Can we sum it up that way?
Just.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, guys. You've been watching the How'd You Do It podcast. My name is Xavier Brinkman, hanging out with the man Kingsley. We really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Peace. What's up, guys? If you liked what you saw, make sure you check out our other videos right here, and also subscribe to the Heard Well channel right here for new interviews coming out every week.